10 alarming signs your body is stressed and how to fix it naturally. Stress is something I deal with more often than I'd like to admit, and I'm sure you've felt it too. It's not just the feeling of being overwhelmed or anxious, it's how my body and yours start to show it in unexpected ways. I've realized that when I'm stressed, my body acts like an alarm system, sending out signals to slow down and take care of myself. Whether it's the constant muscle tension or those random aches that make no sense, these are all signs my body gives me, and I bet yours does too, when stress starts to take over. That's why, in today's video, I will share 10 common warning signs that our body gives away when it is stressed. But remember, if these symptoms stick around, always reach out to a healthcare provider. And at the end of the video, I will share a few of my daily habits that might be making my stress levels worse without me even realizing it. And you might be doing the same. 1. Frequent headaches. People with stress often face frequent headaches because stress triggers a series of physical responses in the body that can lead to pain. The tension caused by stress doesn't just sit in your muscles, it also affects how blood vessels behave. When you're stressed, blood vessels can constrict and reduce the flow of oxygen to the brain, compounding the problem and making headaches more likely. Additionally, stress can alter how your brain processes pain, making you more sensitive to even mild pain signals that would otherwise go unnoticed. It's a cycle that feeds into itself. The more stressed you are, the more headaches you get, and the more headaches you have, the more stressed you feel. According to the Journal of Headache and Pain, stress can cause sensitization and change cortical excitability, which helps to partially explain the development of chronic migraines and attack triggering. Practicing progressive muscle relaxation is simple and can be done almost anywhere, whether you're sitting at your desk or lying in bed. Just take a few minutes to focus on your breathing, tense each muscle group for a few seconds, then release. This helps your mind to unwind from the constant demands that cause stress. 2. Digestive issues. People experiencing stress often face digestive issues because stress significantly impacts how the digestive system functions. When you're stressed, your body activates its fight or flight response, a survival mechanism that prepares you to deal with immediate threats. While this response is helpful in short bursts, it can wreak havoc on your digestive system when it becomes chronic. The release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline redirects blood flow away from the digestive tract to prioritize essential functions like increased heart rate and muscle readiness, leaving your gut with less energy to operate normally. Moreover, a PubMed study titled Stress and the Gut claims that stress affects the balance of gut bacteria, which are crucial for digestion and overall gut health. When stressed, the delicate balance of these bacteria can be thrown off, resulting in inflammation and discomfort. The gut-brain connection, often referred to as the gut-brain axis, means that your emotional state directly affects your gut function, which is why people often feel a knot in their stomach when anxious or upset. This communication between your brain and gut is constantly active, and when stress dominates, it sends signals that can disrupt normal digestion. 3. Fatigue and insomnia. People dealing with stress often face fatigue and insomnia because stress disrupts the body's natural rhythms and energy levels. When you're under stress, your body goes into overdrive, constantly releasing stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline to keep you alert and ready to respond to perceived threats. While these hormones are meant to help you cope in emergencies, when they are released too often, they keep your body in a heightened state of alertness, even when it's time to rest. This constant state of tension can make it difficult for you to relax and fall asleep, leading to insomnia. The National Institutes of Health indicates that stress impacts sleep quality. When stress throws neurochemicals out of balance, it disrupts your sleep-wake cycle, making it hard to wind down at night and leaving you feeling exhausted during the day. The quality of your sleep is compromised, with more frequent awakenings and a reduced ability to enter deep, restorative sleep stages. Over time, this lack of restful sleep accumulates, leaving you feeling fatigued, drained, and struggling to function at your best during the day. Establishing a consistent bedtime routine helps signal to your body that it's time to relax and prepare for sleep. This routine can include activities like reading, taking a warm bath, listening to calming music, or practicing gentle stretches. By creating a calming pre-sleep ritual, you help to reduce cortisol levels and promote the production of melatonin, the hormone responsible for regulating sleep. 4. Weakened immune system. One peer-reviewed PubMed study found that stress, in particular, suppresses the effectiveness of the immune response by reducing the production of lymphocytes, the white blood cells that help fight off infections. This suppression leaves you more vulnerable to catching colds, viruses, and other illnesses because your body is less equipped to fend off invaders. In addition to that, stress also increases inflammation in the body, which is part of the immune system's response to threats. In a balanced state, inflammation is helpful because it helps fight off infections and heal injuries. However, when stress is constant, this inflammation can become chronic, causing the immune system to become less effective over time. This persistent low-level inflammation can wear down your immune defenses, making it harder for your body to respond effectively to new infections and heal itself properly. To naturally mitigate this risk, one exclusive approach is practicing regular deep breathing exercises. Deep breathing helps calm the nervous system, lowering cortisol levels and reducing inflammation, which directly supports immune health. By engaging in slow, deliberate breathing, you activate the body's relaxation response, counteracting the stress response and allowing your immune system to function more effectively. 5. Muscle tension and pain. Muscle tension from stress often affects areas like the neck, shoulders, back, and jaw, leading to conditions like tension headaches, shoulder pain, and even chronic back pain. The continuous tightening of these muscles restricts blood flow, reduces oxygen supply, and leads to the buildup of waste products in the muscle tissue, which contributes to the sensation of pain. Over time, this can cause muscle fatigue and soreness that makes it difficult to relax or feel comfortable, even when you're trying to rest. From the Science Direct database, a study with 37 people measured stress impact on muscle pain. Results found that 67% of people had low-level muscle pain, 30% had moderate-level muscle pain, and the rest had high-level muscle pain. It was found that there was a statistically significant link between high school teachers' work stress and muscle pain. Chronic stress also changes the way your nervous system communicates with your muscles. The constant state of alertness signals your muscles to stay tense, leading to a persistent cycle of tightness and pain. This ongoing muscle tension can worsen existing conditions, such as arthritis or fibromyalgia, making pain management even more challenging. Additionally, stress can make you more aware of pain, heightening your sensitivity and making discomfort feel more intense than it would under normal circumstances. If you want to relieve this pain, try stretching. It helps to lengthen and relax muscles, improve blood circulation, and reduce the physical tightness that comes from stress. By incorporating stretching into your daily routine, you can release built-up tension in the muscles, improve flexibility, and enhance your overall sense of well-being. 6. High blood pressure. Stress may cause your blood pressure to spike temporarily as your heart pumps harder and faster to circulate blood more efficiently. While this response is beneficial in short bursts, helping you react in emergencies, when stress becomes chronic, these repeated surges in blood pressure can lead to long-term hypertension. According to a PubMed study with 8,395 white-collar workers in Canada, new and cumulative job stress predicted rises in blood pressure. These effects were bigger for workers who didn't have a lot of social support at work. Chronic stress keeps your body in a constant state of alertness, leading to persistently elevated blood pressure levels. Over time, the continuous strain on your heart and blood vessels increases the risk of serious health issues, including heart disease, stroke, and other cardiovascular problems. Stress can also cause you to breathe faster and shallower, which reduces the amount of oxygen in your blood and makes your heart work harder. The body's prolonged exposure to stress hormones also damages the lining of blood vessels. It makes them less flexible and more susceptible to plaque buildup, which further raises blood pressure. 7. Skin problems. People experiencing stress often face skin problems because stress affects the body in ways that directly impact skin health. When you're stressed, your body increases oil production in the skin. This excess oil can clog pores, leading to common skin issues like acne, breakouts, and irritation. It also weakens the skin's barrier function, making it less effective at retaining moisture and more vulnerable to environmental pollutants, which can result in dryness, redness, and sensitivity. In fact, Saudi Medical Journal informs that common skin conditions, such as dry skin, itchy skin, and warts, may appear in the context of psychological stress among medical students. Along with that, stress disrupts the balance of your immune system, leading to increased inflammation that can aggravate existing conditions like eczema, psoriasis, and rosacea. It can also slow down the skin's natural healing process, making it harder for blemishes, wounds, or irritations to recover. 8. Changes in appetite. The Curious Journal indicates that stress can amplify cravings for high-fat, high-sugar comfort foods, resulting in increased consumption. This is because cortisol affects the brain's reward center, making you seek out foods that temporarily boost your mood, which often leads to overeating, especially unhealthy snacks that provide quick satisfaction. Additionally, stress can disrupt the balance of gut hormones that regulate appetite, like ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin, known as the hunger hormone, can increase when you're stressed, making you feel hungrier than usual. Leptin, which signals fullness, can be less effective, causing you to continue eating even when you've had enough. This hormonal imbalance further complicates your relationship with food, making it difficult to stick to healthy eating habits. Mindful eating also encourages you to listen to your body's cues rather than reacting impulsively to emotions. For example, instead of reaching for a sugary snack when stressed, mindful eating might help you recognize that what you really need is a moment of relaxation or a glass of water. 9. Memory and concentration issues. According to neuroplasticity, chronic stress leads to high cortisol levels that can disrupt the normal functioning of the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory and learning. This disruption can impair your ability to form new memories, retrieve old ones, and maintain focus, making it harder to concentrate on tasks, remember details, or think clearly. Stress also impacts the prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain involved in decision-making, problem-solving, and attention. Under stress, the prefrontal cortex becomes less efficient, leading to lapses in concentration, difficulty in organizing thoughts, and challenges in processing information. You might find yourself easily distracted, struggling to stay on task, or feeling mentally foggy. Additionally, stress can cause overactivity in the amygdala, the brain's emotional center, which heightens anxiety and makes it difficult for the brain to prioritize and process information logically. This heightened state of alertness consumes mental energy and resources, leaving you feeling mentally drained and less capable of concentrating. One natural way to mitigate the impact of stress on memory and concentration is through regular physical exercise. Exercise helps reduce stress by lowering cortisol levels, improving blood flow to the brain, and stimulating the production of endorphins, which enhance mood and cognitive function. 10. Mood swings and irritability. People dealing with stress often experience mood swings and irritability because stress has a direct impact on the brain's chemistry and emotional regulation. When you're stressed, your body releases a surge of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which are meant to help you cope with immediate challenges. However, when these hormones remain elevated over time, they can disrupt the balance of neurotransmitters in the brain, such as serotonin and dopamine, which are critical for maintaining a stable mood and emotions. Chronic stress puts your nervous system in a constant state of alertness. Small annoyances that you'd normally brush off can feel magnified, causing irritability that seems to come out of nowhere. This constant tension can make it difficult to relax or find joy in everyday activities. The emotional toll of stress can also lead to feelings of frustration, anger, or sadness. Moreover, stress affects how you perceive and react to situations, often causing you to misinterpret neutral events as negative or threatening. This skewed perception can fuel a cycle of negative thinking, making it harder to keep a balanced emotional state. In a study in the Cognitive Therapy and Research Database, 139 women and 38 men were sad and then randomly put into one of three groups: ruminating, distracting themselves, or meditating. As expected, the people who were told to meditate were in much better moods than the people who were told to do the other two things. Moving on, let's discuss some daily habits that increase our stress level. I've noticed that some of my daily habits can unknowingly ramp up my stress levels, making it tougher to manage my mental and physical well-being. Here are some habits that might be contributing to your stress too. 1. Skipping meals or eating unhealthy foods. When you skip meals or rely on processed, high-sugar foods, your blood sugar levels fluctuate, which can trigger mood swings, irritability, and fatigue. These sudden changes in energy levels put additional strain on your body, contributing to increased stress. 2. Lack of physical activity. Sitting for long periods without moving or avoiding exercise altogether can leave you feeling sluggish and more prone to stress. Physical activity helps release endorphins, the body's natural stress relievers, so a sedentary lifestyle can deprive you of this crucial benefit. 3. Constantly checking your phone or email. Being glued to your devices and constantly checking for updates keeps your mind in a state of alertness, even when you should be relaxing. The constant notifications and interruptions can alleviate stress as they make it difficult to disconnect and recharge. 4. Overcommitting and poor time management. Taking on too many responsibilities and not managing your time well can leave you feeling overwhelmed. Without a clear plan, tasks can pile up, leading to anxiety and the feeling that you're constantly racing against the clock. 5. Neglecting sleep. Poor sleep habits, such as staying up late, scrolling on your phone in bed, or having an inconsistent sleep schedule, can disrupt your sleep quality. Lack of sleep impairs your ability to handle stress, leaving you more prone to mood swings and irritability. 6. Caffeine and alcohol consumption. Relying on caffeine to get through the day or turning to alcohol in the evenings can worsen stress levels. While caffeine can increase anxiety and disrupt sleep, alcohol can interfere with your body's ability to recover and relax, creating a cycle of dependency and stress. 7. Negative self-talk. Constantly criticizing yourself or engaging in negative thinking patterns can increase your stress levels. This self-imposed pressure makes you more susceptible to feeling overwhelmed and less capable of managing challenges calmly. 8. Procrastination. Delaying tasks or putting off responsibilities can lead to a buildup of stress as deadlines loom closer. Procrastination often leads to rushed work, mistakes, and the feeling of being constantly under pressure. 9. Lack of personal time. Not taking time for yourself, whether to relax, pursue hobbies, or simply unwind, can lead to burnout. Without personal downtime, you're more likely to feel overwhelmed and stressed by everyday demands. 10. Constant multitasking. Juggling multiple tasks at once can leave you feeling mentally scattered and less effective. Multitasking increases cognitive load, making it difficult to concentrate fully on any one task, which adds to your overall stress. If you're feeling any of the earlier mentioned signs, know that you're not alone. I've been there too. It's easy to brush off headaches, poor sleep, or constant muscle tension as just part of life, but they're really my body's way of telling me to slow down, and maybe yours too. Remember, these tips are just a starting point. If these symptoms persist, don't hesitate to consult a healthcare provider to get the support you need. Now that we have discussed the many signs of stress in our body, there are always other signs of health we should look out for, from kidneys to pancreas. Interested in learning more? Watch what eating one cucumber every day does to your body. or watch 10 best fruits vegetables for longevity. Watch one, or even better, watch both. Will you be taking in more care to live stress fresh from now on? Let us know in the comments below.